bicycle, bicycle, bicycle.
Today's ride takes me to the Lexington Cemetery. The recording starts at Rose and Maxwell and then takes me through downtown on the Town Branch Trail. Very pleasant riding. Lexington Cemetery is one of the prime destinations for walking in the city, so come join me. So today's recording starts at the corner of Rose and Maxwell. And here it is Share the Road, and I am usually quite comfortable taking the road for myself. So I'm rolling downhill towards Vine Street. Okay, so here now at Vine Street and Rose is the beginning of the Town Branch Trail, or at least where I'm picking it up. So in order to do that, I have to go on the sidewalk and then cross and pick it up. It's really not that easy to see which side is for cyclists. It is on the left. So I think the signage could perhaps be a little bit better. Once you're on that bike path, it's a very pretty ride. The grasses are low enough so that you remain visible, though the same can probably not be said for somebody who is riding a recumbent trike. I think they would be quite invisible. Also, if you are on a recumbent trike, and I say this because my husband is riding a recumbent trike, there are often poles that are dividing this bike path, and that makes navigation quite tricky on the recumbent. Otherwise, though, it is really pleasant, it's safe, it just feels really, really nice to be going through town on such a protected pathway, and I hope that we will get many, many more like it. So a number of crossings, entryways. You want to be careful when there are pedestrians. Always make sure you let them know that you're coming up behind them, either with a bell or just by letting them know you're passing them. And here are the poles that I mentioned earlier. So we are coming up to the intersection of Vine and Broadway. And at that intersection, I'm riding with my husband, or he's behind me. We had a little bit of confusion. We couldn't quite see where the path was continuing. So we're looking around, and then we finally realize, oh, we have to cross Vine and then turn right to go past Rupp-Arena. So we do that, and the markings seem to pretty clearly indicate that the bike path continues over here. So we follow it around Rupp-Arena. And my voice is somewhat in suspension because once we get around here, we come to a quite unexpected dead end. On the bike map that we had consulted, it looked like the town branch was continuing all the way towards our destination. But in reality, we came to a dead end and then had to turn around and figure out how to move on from this here. So, yeah, okay, so here we turn around and we then decide to simply continue on the sidewalk. I usually don't like to ride on the sidewalk. Sometimes it's inevitable for short spurts. Here it's a little bit longer, and it's a bit of a narrow sidewalk, particularly when there are people walking. So this is a little bit tricky. I think this is the Jefferson crossing. And then further up there is a little jig that we do through the Salvation Army parking lot in order to avoid inconveniencing people waiting for the bus or walkers. This is the Salvation Army parking lot. And just on the other side of the Salvation Army parking lot, you have Oliver Lewis Parkway and a good opportunity to cross over to the other side, since the Lexington Cemetery is on the other side of the road. So here we're crossing Main Street, and then we'll be turning left and cross Oliver Lewis. All right, now we're on the last stretch of our ride. We'll be crossing over railroad tracks on this little bridge here. And then just beyond, we'll be turning right into the cemetery. So it's not a terribly long ride. Parts of it extremely pleasant, other parts just because we didn't realize that Town Branch would not be completed yet, a little bit nerve-wracking. But here we are in the beautiful setting of the cemetery, getting ready to have our nice walk. And we'll be attaching our bikes to this sign here that says bicycles not allowed. So I start the recording for the ride on the corner of Rose and Maxwell. We continue down on Rose. At Vine Street, we maneuver to get onto the Town Branch path. Very pleasant ride through downtown. As we come to Broadway, there's a little bit of confusion. We have to cross the road, and then we follow the path, but unfortunately Town Branch stops. And so then we maneuver over to the sidewalk and continue on Main Street on the sidewalk until we get to the cemetery.